Odyssey, you feel like you are being presented the evolution of a series, a step forward. Now, the nearest experience that I've ever had to this feeling was in the past when I was playing the opening moments of Super Mario 64. It's that feeling that you have when you know that something is special, something is different, and something is unique. And I am so happy to report that Super Mario Odyssey is that kind of special. This is the Nintendo Dad's review of Super Mario Odyssey for the Nintendo Switch. To say that Breath of the Wild and Super Mario Odyssey share common DNA is an absolute understatement. In both series, you can feel the game developers' and directors' passion seep through each and every single pixel. They are obviously huge fans of the franchise and are not afraid to take risks and reinvigorate a franchise to compete with the likes of Microsoft and Sony. In a letter to the media, the producer and director of Super Mario Odyssey shared that their vision of the game was to build a sense of surprise. And this guiding objective of surprise, combined with a discovery-based sandbox game, becomes the pillars that Super Mario Odyssey is based on. And it is a perfect combination for gamers. The theme of discovery and explorations plays such a key role in Super Mario Odyssey. I can't tell you how many times I was exploring a level, trying to see and find my next moon piece, and all of a sudden I stumble upon an item that, although perhaps feels like it's supposed to be there, also feels like I've randomly found it. And the attention to detail is absolutely incredible. Whether it's as simple as a Goomba, which has been encased in stone and you can see it, but it's shaped as an 8-bit Goomba, or perhaps it's the ability to be 3D Mario and all of a sudden go through a pipe and become your 2-bit 2D Mario from the original Super Mario Brothers, is such an amazing twist. And not really a twist in a way that I've never seen it before, but plays an homage to the nostalgia that Super Mario has come from. It is so apparent that the developers understood the lore and history of Super Mario and were huge fans. There are callbacks to Super Mario 64, to Mario Sunshine, to so many of the games within the Mario franchise that you would have to know that lore to be able to create a game such as Super Mario Odyssey. Not only is it the discovery of these components within the actual levels, but it's the encouragement to go back and rediscover the levels. So when you are playing Super Mario Odyssey, you have these kingdoms that you have the ability to explore using the Odyssey, the ship that moves you between these spots. Now, for Odyssey to be able to move from one kingdom to another, you have to collect a minimum number of moon pieces in each level. Now, the moon pieces in each level have a variant of how many are in that level. In some cases, there were 1 or 2, and in some cases, there were up to 60 separate moon pieces, but there is a minimum amount that you have to collect to be able to move Odyssey to your next kingdom. Now, this is perfect for new gamers or young gamers who've never experienced this, because it allows for them to continue the progress of the story by meeting these minimum requirements. Typically, I would find that the minimum requirement would be anywhere between 25 to 30% of that level's moon pieces to move forward. So if a kingdom might have, let's say, 60 moon pieces, you would only require, let's say, 15 of those to be able to move forward to your next kingdom, to power the Odyssey to move forward. Once you have moved forward, well, I'll actually take a pause there. I was challenged at times whether I wanted to move forward, because I would grab just enough moon pieces to be able to power the Odyssey to move to my next kingdom, but I understood that there were so many more moon pieces left for me to discover that I wanted to stay there and explore this world. And some of these moon pieces are very easy to find. A simple activity as, oh, there's a glowing yellow light under this pillar. Why don't I, stomp down or bum drop down, and oh, look, there's a moon piece, to completing, and that's an example of a very easy one, or actually going into some of the shops and buying a moon piece. But some of them are much more complicated, requiring the exploration and discovery that more seasoned video game players may have. This game appeals to both audiences in a way that is so amazing as a parent. I can have a very different experience than what my children may have because of the level of expertise and precision that is required with Super Mario. But at the same time, my children can play it and have a great time and move forward and feel like they're being successful. The discovery components are so so touchstone very much to Breath of the Wild that feels like those things are almost as if the designers of both games had a roundtable meeting and said, "Hey, I like what you're doing. We should also do that in our game." It's an amazing feeling and exploration and keeps you coming back to the levels. I found very often I would finish a level, progress to the next kingdom, run about the kingdom, do a couple of moons, and then say, I want to go back to Metro. I want to go back to the Metro Kingdom, and I want to explore there more because that's really, really cool. So I found myself being pulled back, and every time you would go back into the kingdom that you just finished, it felt different. There were different areas for you to explore. Some things actually changed. There were different enemies, different objectives. It felt different and fresh every single time, which provided you another opportunity to explore the level again and again. And of course, collecting these moon pieces is your objective. How do you get these? How do you discover all 25, all 60? And it feels like that completionist is there that wants to do that. And included in that are the level-specific purple coins that you also have to collect. So where can you find all those coins? So it continues to have you pushing and thinking differently and jumping down there and trying a different corner, or hey, maybe this level goes somewhere else. There's just an amazing sense of discovery. And perfect for audiences of all ages. Speaking of accessibilities and playing together with kids, one of the amazing options that I really like about this game is the 2-player option that allows a second player to become Cappy. Now, this is actually very similar to the Starbit collector in the Super Mario Galaxy series that was for the Wii. Not only is this a great feature for parents with young children, but also great for spouses or partners that may not necessarily be as enthusiastic as you are to play video games, but still wants to support you, because they're loving and like you. But Player 2 has the ability to beat bad guys, collect coins, provide Mario a lift, and possess enemies. And it's not just a sitting back role. However, if needed, Player 1 can actually easily regain control of Cappy whenever they need, should Player 2 abandon you or go somewhere else, or snacks are being provided and your kid has to run away. So it's a great option. Player 2 also, the Player 2 option is also easily accessible at the pause menu, allowing an individual the ability to easily dip in and out of play without the need for any kind of save points, restarting the games, or specific save files. They really allow the accessibility of Player 2 to be a casual and easy to access in any way. And the Player 2 option provides a lot of different controller options, including the Pro controller, including a single Joy-Con, including the Joy-Con grip. So there's a lot of options for a player to very easily come in and out as the second player, which is fantastic for families. Speaking of Cappy, the Cappy functionality, or the ability that Cappy has, is such an original and creative idea. I love the ability to throw Cappy and all of a sudden take part as an enemy. And perhaps now all of a sudden I'm a Goomba, and having to use that Goomba's special skill set or tools to solve that area. This is very reminiscent of the old Tanuki suit, or the Frog Mario. I mean, basically any of Mario's capacity skills they've had in the past game, but possessing the villains feels different. It feels like you have more control. It feels like it lasts longer at times. It allows you to have different access, and it allows for you to really look at some of the difficult areas and understand what is the problem that I need to solve, and how do I use Cappy and the villains or enemies around me in that type of way. There was one of the kingdoms that I was actually struggling in where I couldn't figure out how to get some of the level-specific coins, and it wasn't until I possessed one of the villains that I understood that their ability or their skill set allowed me the opportunity to reach those coins. So there's a problem solving and understanding what the villain does, or the enemy does, that allows you the ability to complete that task. And it's such a really cool and fun mechanic. And of course, sitting around with the kids, they love saying, "Oh, now be the Koopa," or "Oh, now be the Goomba," "Oh, be the Fireball." And there's just this enjoyment of kind of getting to be something different for a little bit longer as well. So Cappy is really an incredible addition and a lot of fun. And I hopefully becomes a mainstay and part of the Mario world. Playing Super Mario Odyssey, I do nothing but continue to smile at this amazing masterpiece and amazing game. And I can't wait for you to discover Super Mario Odyssey. I highly recommend it, and you should pick it up. Thanks very much for tuning in, and thank you very much to Nintendo for providing us a review copy of Super Mario Odyssey for the Nintendo Switch. Thanks for tuning in, guys, and if you like this kind of videos, click and subscribe for all the content that we create here at Nintendo Dads. Thanks very much. Bye-bye.